Good morning readers. I, Harish Budu, warmly welcome you to my channel. Learn as much as possible from my handwritten articles. This 8th of January 2021 opinion paper. Trumpism wreaking havoc, mayhem and vengeance in Mauritius. But can Trump compete with the kitchen cabinet? Donald Trump will soon disappear, but we will be plagued by hydra-headed Trump. This 8th of January 2021 opinion paper welcomes you. It is the fifth part of the series on Donald Trump, his presidency, the United States and the likes of Trump, in all countries of the world. The first note of caution, alarm bell and wake-up call article was written and posted on last Monday 4th January. Some 48 hours later, natural justice followed its course. That was on Wednesday 6th January when Trump had invited his fanatics to Capitol Hill to protest against the stolen election. The inevitable happened. Protesters turned violent. Into barbaric rioters, they mercilessly attacked the very symbol, seat and heart of American democracy. Trump had influenced and incited them. Just imagine, we had set off the alarm 48 hours before. We have already explained the reasons behind these points of view on Trump and his likes across the world. A few more observations will be appropriate in present circumstances. Back to the 1985's privileged official visit of the American ambassador to the United Nations Vernon Walters. I hasten to add that I am writing from memory only. I hope the name is okay. We could have got a lot from the United States through Vernon, without selling ourselves. Unfortunately, the then Prime Minister, Andrew Jugnout, was scared of my shadows and was too jealous. He was already preparing the ground for his son. Just en passant, Vernon spoke some 6 languages fluently and was a diplomat of genius. He had served some 4 American presidents, if my memory serves me right. You learn a lot from such walking dictionaries. 2 other points worthwhile mentioning are flashing through my mind. We have always been practical, rational, nay, logical on the sensitive Diego Garcia issue. Sure, it is our territory. However, common sense approach was to ask the Americans to recruit our workers plus buy our food and products plus allow us to fish and utilize the other unused islands plus educate and train our professionals etc. Make no mistakes. The Americans will never leave, especially with the emergence of China. For that logical stand, I was taxed as a stooge of the United States by the militant movement Mauritian. They were then with Jean Codebux's Libya, USSR, Seychelles of Albert Rene and other communist countries, to suck in their money. And a last point, but very important, Americans elected the first black African American president in 2008. He was the young 47-year-old Barack Hussein Obama. Just imagine, the blacks represent only some 12% of the population. However, we made history well before the United States. Paul Berenger became Prime Minister in 2003. Both were symbolic figures. Obama was a university in himself. Against that backdrop, let us now consider the following 29 phrases from the British Broadcasting Corporation, Cable News Network and Bloomberg, to better understand the after-effects of the attack on the seat of democracy. Everybody was on high alert. Democracy is their will of people. Trump lost the elections fairly and scorely. Trump encouraged and armed insurrection against his own government. He crossed the red line when he himself incited the rioters to violence. Trump is violating his oath of office and loyalty to the Constitution. For one day, Trump made the United States behave like a banana republic. Prosecutors are looking at Trump's role on inciting racial hatred and violence. Do not dare call them protesters, they were rioters. United States allies express shock and dismay after pro-Trump riots. In an election, democracy should be the winner. Global leadership vented worry, sadness and dismay. Some United States allies avoid blaming Trump directly for riot. Everyone is now counting on President-elect Joe Biden to put order and restore faith in American democracy and values. American institutions will survive the crisis of Trump's presidency. Scenes of insurrection at United States Capitol Hill were an assault, first on democracy. World reacts in shock to Trump's riot. Biden will start the healing process from day one. Sharp contrast in police response to Capitol riot and Black Lives Matter last June protests. June social justice protesters met with tear gas, violence and arrests. Trump has refused to accept the basic bargain of democracy. The rioters, incited by Trump, were proud of what they were doing. Federal Bureau of Investigation investigators look at social media posts showing rioters' involvement. Capitol violence has deeply troubled people. More than 50 rioters are facing criminal charges. United States should lead by example. We do need American global leadership. A global consensus on democracy now needed. Growing calls to oust Trump now. The ghosts of Trump are never far away in each and every country. And in Mauritius, the hen hatching Trump's eggs is none other than the kitchen cabinet itself. But can Donald Trump compete with it? I doubt. Keep reading, keep learning. Like and subscribe for more thrilling articles.